Everyone is chasing millions. They think they need 5 million, 10 million generational wealth. They're working themselves to death pursuing numbers that sound impressive, but add nothing to their actual lives. I'm going to tell you something that will either liberate you or infuriate you. $500,000 is all you need. Not to be comfortable, not to get by, but to be genuinely, meaningfully wealthy in the ways that actually matter. I'm 90 years old. I've been poor, middle class, and extremely wealthy. I've lived through the Great Depression, built fortunes, lost fortunes, and rebuilt them. And I can tell you with absolute certainty, the difference in life quality between having $500,000 invested properly and having $50 million is marginal at best, and often negative. This isn't about settling. It's not about limiting your ambitions. It's about understanding what money actually does and doesn't do for human happiness, security, and freedom. Most people spend their entire lives chasing wealth they don't need, sacrificing things that actually matter, time with family, health, relationships, peace of mind, to accumulate money that provides no additional utility beyond a certain point. That point is $500,000. With $500,000 invested intelligently and managed properly, you have everything money can actually provide: security, options, time, independence, and peace of mind. Everything beyond that is just numbers on a screen that might impress others but won't improve your life. I know this is hard to hear. We're culturally conditioned to believe more is always better. That the goal is to maximize net worth until we die. That retiring with only $500,000 is somehow failure. It's not. It's freedom. It's enough. It's victory over a system designed to keep you perpetually unsatisfied, perpetually chasing, perpetually working. I'm going to prove this to you mathematically, psychologically, and practically. I'll show you exactly what $500,000 provides, why it's sufficient, and how to reach it without destroying your life in the process. I'll also show you why chasing amounts beyond this, $5 million, $10 million, $50 million, often makes people less happy, less healthy, and less free than those who stop at $500,000. This isn't a poverty mindset. It's the opposite. It's understanding that wealth is a tool with a specific purpose, and once that purpose is fulfilled, additional wealth becomes burden rather than benefit. Most financial advice tells you to maximize, optimize, compound forever. I'm telling you there's an end point, a finish line, a place where you can say enough and actually mean it. That place is $500,000. Now, I know what you're thinking. Graham, you're rich. Easy for you to say $500,000 is enough when you have millions? Fair point. But here's the truth. My life today isn't meaningfully different than it would be with $500,000 properly invested. The extra millions provide options I don't use and security I don't need. They're inert capital doing nothing for my actual life quality. If I could go back and choose between reaching $500,000 at 45 and retiring, or reaching $5 million at 65 after 20 additional years of work, I'd choose the former without hesitation. Those 20 years of freedom are worth infinitely more than the additional $4.5 million. So let me show you why $500,000 is all you need. Not all you could accumulate, not all you might want, but all you need for a genuinely wealthy, free, secure life. Why $500,000 is the magic number. Let me show you the arithmetic that proves $500,000 is sufficient for genuine wealth. These aren't theories or aspirations. These are mathematical facts about what money can actually do for you. The 4% rule in financial independence. There's a concept in retirement planning called the 4% rule. It says you can withdraw 4% of your portfolio annually, adjusted for inflation, and your money will last at least 30 years, probably longer, likely forever. $500,000 times 4% equals $20,000 per year in sustainable income. Now, before you dismiss that as insufficient, understand what this means in context. $20,000 plus other income. Most people won't retire on portfolio income alone. They'll have the Social Security, state pension. Average in the U.S. is $1,800 per month, or $21,600 per year. In the U.K., state pension is roughly £11,500 per year, $14,500. part-time work or side income, not a job you hate, but meaningful work you choose. Even $10,000 per year from consulting, teaching, or passion projects. Paid off home. No mortgage means your housing cost is just maintenance, insurance, and property taxes. Typically $3,000 to $6,000 per year, instead of $15,000 to $25,000 in rent or mortgage payments. So realistically, portfolio, $20,000. Pension/Social Security, $20,000. Light work, $10,000, and total, $50,000 per year. Plus you're living mortgage-free, what $50,000 per year actually buys. In most of the United States and UK, outside major city centers, $50,000 per year with no mortgage provides a genuinely comfortable life. Food, $6,000 per year, $500 per month for quality groceries. Healthcare, $6,000 per year. Insurance, co-pays, out of pocket. Transportation, $5,000 per year. Reliable paid-off car, maintenance, gas, insurance. Utilities, $3,000 per year, electricity, water, internet, phone. Property taxes/insurance, $4,000 per year. Clothing, personal, $2,000 per year. Entertainment, hobbies, $4,000 per year. Travel, $6,000 per year, 2 to 3 modest trips annually. Miscellaneous, $4,000 per year. Emergency buffer, $4,000 per year. Total, $44,000 per year. You have $6,000 per year left over. You're not stressed, you're not sacrificing, you're not scraping by, you're living a genuinely comfortable middle-class life. Is this luxury? Number. You're not flying first class or staying at 5-star resorts, but you're also not worried about money, not stuck in a job you hate, and not sacrificing health or relationships for income. The geographic arbitrage option. But it gets better. $500,000 provides even more if you're willing to optimize geography. Move to a low-cost area, rural America, parts of Europe, Southeast Asia, Latin America, Southern Europe, and your $20,000 portfolio withdrawal plus pension goes dramatically further. In Portugal, Mexico, Thailand, Ecuador, you can live exceptionally well on $30,000 to $40,000 per year. Comfortable housing, excellent food, good health care, rich social life. With $500,000, you're genuinely wealthy in 80% of the world's geography. You're only barely comfortable if you insist on living in Manhattan, San Francisco, or Central London, the psychological shift. Here's what most people miss. The goal isn't to maximize spending, it's to eliminate financial anxiety while maintaining freedom. With $500,000 properly invested, a paid-off home, and a modest lifestyle, you've achieved that. You wake up without an alarm. You spend your day however you choose. You're not worried about layoffs, office politics, or impressing anyone. That's wealth, not the number in your account, but the freedom in your schedule and the peace in your mind, the margin of safety. But what about emergencies? Healthcare costs, market crashes, inflation? This is where the conservatism of $500,000 shines. You're only withdrawing 4%, $20,000. In most years, your portfolio at 7 to 8% real returns will grow even after withdrawals. If markets crash 40%, your $500,000 becomes $300,000. You're now withdrawing $12,000, 4% of $300,000, instead of $20,000. Combined with pension and part-time work, you're still at $42,000 total income. Tight, but manageable. And historically, markets recover. Your $300,000 grows back to $500,000 within 3 to 5 years. You've survived the crash without catastrophe. Meanwhile, the person barely getting by on their $3 million portfolio, withdrawing $120,000 per year to maintain a lifestyle they can't actually afford, just saw their portfolio drop to $1.8 million. They're now withdrawing $72,000, 4% of $1.8 million, and panicking because their lifestyle costs $150,000. The margin of safety isn't about the absolute number. It's about the ratio of your spending to your resources. $500,000 supporting a $40,000 lifestyle has more safety than $5 million supporting a $200,000 lifestyle. The compounding question. But Graham, you say, if I have $500,000 at 45 and I just let it compound for 20 more years at 8%, I'll have $2.3 million at 65. Isn't that better? Only if those 20 years of work are free. They're not. They cost 40+ hours weekly. Stress, politics, commuting, limited time with family, declining health from sedentary work and stress, inability to pursue passions, travel, or meaningful projects. 20 years of your life you'll never get back. Is $1.8 million extra? $2.3 million minus $500,000? Worth 20 years of your life? That's $90,000 per year of your freedom. Do you value your time at only $90,000 per year? Because if you do, you've radically underpriced the only finite resource you have. I'd argue your time at 45 to 65, when you're still healthy, energetic, and capable, is worth more than any amount of money. Those are the years to travel while you can hike mountains, to build relationships while you have energy, to pursue projects while your mind is sharp. Trading those years for additional millions you don't need is one of the worst deals you can make. The flexibility advantage. Here's another underrated aspect of $500,000. It's achievable for normal people with normal incomes in a reasonable time frame. Save $15,000 per year for 20 years at 8% returns, $735,000. Save $10,000 per year for 25 years at 8% returns, $789,000. Save $8,000 per year for 30 years at 8% returns, $979,000. These aren't heroic savings rates. These are modest, sustainable contributions that regular people with middle-class incomes can maintain without destroying their quality of life during accumulation. Contrast this with trying to reach $5 million. Save $15,000 per year for 42 years at 8%, $5.1 million. Save $30,000 per year for 30 years. At 8%, $3.7 million. Save $50,000 per year for 23 years at 8%, $3.2 million. Notice the problem? Reaching $5 million requires either working well into your 60s, 42+ years, heroic savings rates, $30,000 to $50,000 per year, that require very high income, sacrificing quality of life during prime years. Meanwhile, $500,000 is achievable by age 45 to 50 with modest discipline. You get to enjoy freedom during your healthiest, most capable decades. The real wealth. The mathematical truth is this: $500,000 provides everything money can actually buy that matters. Security can't be financially destroyed by normal life events. Freedom, don't need to work for money. Options, can choose how to spend time. Independence, not dependent on employer, economy, or others. Peace of mind, not worried about money. Dignity, not begging for jobs or assistance. Everything beyond $500,000 provides bigger house that requires more maintenance and creates more stress. Fancier car that depreciates and impresses no one who matters. Luxury goods that provide temporary pleasure but no lasting happiness. Status signaling, valuable only to people whose opinions don't matter. The marginal utility of wealth beyond $500,000 is close to zero for actual life quality. It's mostly psychological, the feeling of having more, not the reality of living better. The contrarian truth. Here's the truth that will upset people. Most people chasing $5 million don't actually want $5 million. They want the feeling of security, freedom, and success they think $5 million will provide. But $500,000 provides those feelings if you adjust your psychology. The missing ingredient isn't more money. It's gratitude, contentment, and realistic expectations about what money can do. The person with $500,000 who feels wealthy is wealthier than the person with $5 million who feels they need $10 million. Wealth is partly objective, the number, but mostly subjective, the feeling. $500,000 is enough for objective financial security. Whether it feels like enough is a psychological choice you make. And I'm going to teach you how to make that choice. The diminishing returns of additional wealth. Let me tell you something uncomfortable. Beyond a certain point, additional wealth makes your life worse, not better. I've lived this. I've watched others live it, and the evidence is overwhelming. The hedonic treadmill. Psychologists have a concept called the hedonic treadmill. It means humans adapt to improvements in circumstances remarkably quickly, returning to a baseline level of happiness. You get a raise, You feel happier for a few weeks. Then you adapt. The new income becomes normal. You want more. You buy a bigger house. It's exciting for a month. Then it's just your house. You want bigger. You reach $1 million net worth. It feels significant briefly. Then it feels insufficient. You want $2 million? This adaptation is infinite. There's no amount of wealth that permanently satisfies because satisfaction isn't found in the number, it's found in psychology. I've met people with $50 million who are miserable, anxious, and convinced they need $100 million. I've met people with $500,000 who feel abundantly wealthy and deeply content. The difference isn't the money. It's whether they've solved the psychological equation of enough. If you haven't solved that equation at $500,000, you won't solve it at $5 million or $50 million either. You'll just keep moving the goalposts. The research on money and happiness. Multiple studies converge on the same finding. Money increases happiness up to a point, then the relationship flattens or even reverses. The Princeton study found emotional well-being increases with income up to about $75,000 per year. In 2010 dollars, roughly $95,000 today, then plateaus. Beyond that, more income doesn't make daily life happier. The Purdue University Global Study found ideal income for life satisfaction is $60,000 to $75,000 for individuals, $75,000 to $95,000 for families. Notice something? These numbers are far below what $500,000 can sustain. $500,000 generating $20,000 in portfolio income plus pension, $20,000, plus light work, $10,000 equals $50,000. Within the happiness optimization range. This isn't poverty, it's sufficiency. And research consistently shows sufficiency maximizes happiness, while excess creates its own problems. The problems that come with more. Let me tell you what additional wealth beyond $500,000 actually brings. Complexity. Managing $5 million is dramatically more complex than managing $500,000. More investment vehicles. More tax strategies, more estate planning, more professional advisors taking fees. It becomes a part-time job just managing your money. Anxiety. Counterintuitively, having more often creates more anxiety. You worry about losing it. You worry about your children becoming entitled. You worry about being taken advantage of. You worry about whether people like you for you or your money. Relationship strain. Money above a certain level creates weird dynamics. Friends become awkward. Family members ask for loans. People treat you differently. Authenticity becomes harder to find. Identity confusion. When your net worth becomes your primary identity, you lose yourself. You become the rich guy instead of a person with interests, passions, and relationships. Time consumption. Building and maintaining large wealth typically requires significant time. Time that could be spent on relationships, health, learning, creating, or just living. Obligation. Burden. With significant wealth comes social expectation. You're expected to donate more, to help more, to solve problems for others. These aren't bad things, but they're obligations that consume time and mental energy. Lifestyle inflation. This is the killer. As wealth grows, expenses grow. Bigger house means more maintenance. Luxury goods mean expensive taste. First-class travel becomes the expectation. Before long, you need $200,000 per year to maintain the lifestyle your wealth created. The paradox. You have $5 million, but need $200,000 per year. That's actually less secure than having $500,000 and needing $40,000 per year. The ratio of resources to needs matters more than the absolute numbers. The data on wealthy misery. Studies of lottery winners, sudden wealth recipients, and high net worth individuals reveal consistent patterns. Lottery winners. Most report being no happier 1 to 2 years after winning. Many report being less happy due to relationship strain, requests for money, and loss of purpose. Tech millionaires. Silicon Valley is full of paper millionaires who are anxious, overworked, and convinced they need more. The exit they're chasing keeps receding. $5 million becomes $10 million, becomes $50 million. Ultra-high net worth individuals. Studies show they report higher anxiety about money than merely affluent individuals. They worry about preserving wealth, about children's relationship with money, about being targeted for their wealth. Meanwhile, people at the $500,000 to $2 million level, solidly comfortable but not wealthy, report the highest life satisfaction. They have security without complexity, options without obligations, freedom without identity confusion, the freedom versus wealth trade-off. Here's the critical trade-off people miss. Building large wealth typically requires sacrificing freedom during your prime years. To reach $5 million by age 55, you probably need to work in high-stress, high-income profession, finance, law, medicine, tech executive. Work 60 to 80 hours weekly for decades. Sacrifice health, stress, sedentary work, poor sleep. Sacrifice relationships, absent from family, friendships atrophy. Sacrifice personal development, no time for hobbies, learning, growth. Live in expensive city, coastal metros where these jobs exist. By age 55, you have $5 million, but you also have stress-related health issues, strained or broken relationships, no hobbies or identity outside work, years of your children's lives you missed, decades of experiences you didn't have. Was that worth the extra $4.5 million beyond $500,000? Contrast this with reaching $500,000 by age 45 through modest income and disciplined saving. You spent your 30s and early 40s working normally, saving consistently, living below your means. Then you're done. Free. 45 to 85. 40 years of freedom. Which life is wealthier? The person with $5 million and broken health at 55, or the person with $500,000 and full health at 45? The enough equation. Wealth is this equation. Wealth equals what you have divided by what you need. Not wealth equals what you have, absolute. $500,000 with $40,000 per year needs equals 12.5 years of spending, equals wealthy $5 million with $200,000 per year needs equals 25 years of spending equals wealthy. The person with $500,000 is actually wealthier in some ways because lower stress maintaining lifestyle, easier to preserve capital, more locations where they can live well, less complexity managing finances, earlier freedom, reach sufficiency younger. The enough example. Let me give you a real example. Two people from my lifetime. Person A worked as a corporate lawyer, made $300,000 to $500,000 a year in his 40s and 50s, retired at 58 with $8 million, massive house in Connecticut, luxury cars, country club membership, divorce is expensive, children entitled, needs $250,000 per year to maintain lifestyle, stressed about portfolio performance, died at 69 of stress-related heart attack. Net freedom years, 11. Person B worked as a teacher, then administrator. Made $50,000 to $80,000 per year. Saved aggressively. Lived modestly. Retired at 47 with $550,000. Small paid-off house in Vermont. Simple life. Married once, happily. Children grounded. Needs $35,000 per year. Portfolio comfortably provides. Taught part-time for fun, adding $10,000 per year. Traveled extensively, wrote books. Mentored young teachers. Lived to 89. Net freedom years, 42. Who was wealthier? Person A had 15 times the assets, but person B had 4 times the freedom years and infinitely more peace. The numbers said person A was winning. The reality said person B won completely. The cultural lie. We're sold a lie by people who profit from our dissatisfaction. More is always better. Wealth is about maximizing net worth, and retiring early with only $500,000 is settling. This lie comes from financial services industry. More assets equals more fees. Consumer culture, keeping you unsatisfied, sells products. Status competition. Wealthy people need others to chase wealth to feel superior. Media, stories about billionaires, sell better than stories about contentment. But the truth is simpler. Beyond $500,000, additional wealth has diminishing and often negative returns on actual life quality. The marginal utility graph. If you graph happiness versus wealth, it looks like this. $0 to $50,000, steep upward slope, money solves real problems. $50,000 to $200,000. Moderate upward slope, life gets noticeably better. $200,000 to $500,000. Gentle upward slope, nice improvements, diminishing returns. $500,000 to $2 million. Nearly flat, marginal improvements. $2 million. Plus flat or declining. Complexity, anxiety, identity issues outweigh benefits. $500,000 is near the top of the curve. Everything beyond is chasing increasingly marginal returns while accepting increasing complexity and anxiety. The liberation of enough. Here's what's liberating about accepting $500,000 as sufficient. You can stop. The race ends. You've won. No need to keep running. You can optimize for life. Instead of maximizing income, you maximize health, relationships, experiences, growth. You escape status games. You're not competing. You're content. Their Bentley doesn't threaten your security. You're truly free. Freedom isn't having unlimited resources. It's needing so little that what you have is abundant. Most people will never feel wealthy because they never define enough. The goalpost keeps moving. They're on a treadmill where winning is impossible. Defining $500,000 as enough is stepping off the treadmill. It's saying, I've reached the destination. Everything else is unnecessary luxury or burden. This isn't limiting, it's liberating. It's the difference between running a race with no finish line and running a race you can actually win. The question. So I'll ask you, do you want to be objectively wealthier, more dollars? Or subjectively wealthier, more freedom, peace, security? Because beyond $500,000, those two things diverge. More dollars often means less freedom, less peace, more complexity, more anxiety. $500,000 is where objective wealth and subjective wealth align perfectly. It's enough for objective security and low enough for subjective simplicity. That's why it's the magic number. Not because it's the maximum you could accumulate, but because it's the optimum where money provides everything valuable without the burdens excessive wealth creates. The practical path to $500,000. Now let me show you exactly how to reach $500,000. Not theories, not aspirations. Practical, proven strategies that regular people with regular incomes can execute. The timeline framework. First, understand your timeline options. Aggressive, 15 to 18 years. Save $20,000 per year. Earn 8% average returns. Reach $500,000 by age 40 to 45 if starting at 25. Moderate, 20 to 25 years, save $12,000 per year. Earn 8% average returns. Reach $500,000 by age 45 to 50 if starting at 25. Conservative, 30 to 35 years, save $7,000 per year. Earn 8% average returns. Reach $500,000 by age 55 to 60 if starting at 25. Pick your timeline based on your income, life circumstances, and freedom goals. All three work. Aggressive gets you freedom youngest. Conservative is achievable for almost anyone. Strategy 1. The savings rate formula. Your savings rate determines your timeline more than your returns or income. Savings rate equals income minus spending divided by income. Examples. Earn $50,000, spend $40,000, save $10,000 equals 20% savings rate. Earn $100,000, spend $80,000, save $20,000 equals 20% savings rate. Earn $80,000, spend $50,000, save $30,000 equals 37.5% savings rate. Notice, the person earning $80,000 with a 37.5% savings rate reaches $500,000 faster than the person earning $100,000 with a 20% savings rate. Income matters, but spending matters more. Target savings rates 20%, achievable for most middle-income earners, reaches $500,000 in 20 to 25 years. 30%. Requires discipline but not deprivation, reaches $500,000 in 15 to 18 years. 40% plus, aggressive but liberating, reaches $500,000 in 12 to 15 years. How to increase savings rate. Cut the big three, 70% of spending. Housing, live in modest home or apartment. Rent versus buy decision based on math, not emotion. Target housing at 25% of gross income or less. Transportation. Buy a reliable used car and drive it 10 plus years, or live car-free if possible. Target transportation at 10% of income or less. Food. Cook at home. Grocery shop with list. Limit dining out to social occasions. Target food at 10% of income or less. Master these three and you've solved 70% of the savings challenge. Eliminate financial parasites. Subscription creep. $200 plus per month in services you barely use. Payment plans, furniture, electronics on payment equals broke person behavior. Credit card interest. Financial suicide. Eliminate immediately. Convenient purchases, coffee lunches, impulse Amazon orders. Increase income strategically. Negotiate raises most people never ask ever. Develop valuable skills in your field. Side income from expertise. Consulting, teaching, creating. Career mobility. Change employers every 3 to 5 years for raises. An extra $10,000 a year in income saved completely cuts years off your timeline. Strategy 2. The investment approach. Reaching $500,000 requires not just saving, but investing properly. Asset allocation for accumulation phase, 20 seconds to 40 seconds. 80 to 90% stocks, growth engine. 10 to 20% bonds, stability, rebalancing. 0% cash beyond 3 to 6 month emergency fund. For preservation phase, late 40s onward as you near $500,000. 60 to 70% stocks, 30 to 40% bonds. Small cash cushion for stability. Investment vehicle in USA, 401k to employer match. Free money, take it all. Roth IRA, $7,000 per year, $8,000 at 50 plus. Tax-free growth forever. Traditional IRA or 401k, fill these to maximize tax advantage space. Taxable brokerage, once retirement accounts maxed. In UK, pension to employer match, free money, take it all. ISA, £20,000 per year allowance, tax-free growth forever. Additional pension contributions, tax relief on contributions. General investment account, once tax-advantaged accounts maxed. The portfolio, keep it simple. Complexity is the enemy of consistency. Option A, 3-fund portfolio. 60% total world stock index, 30% total US-UK bond index, 10% cash, short-term bonds. Option B, target date fund. Single fund that auto-rebalances. Choose target date closest to when you'll need the money. Set and forget. Option C, all-world index. 100% Vanguard FTSE all-world or equivalent. Ultimate simplicity. Slightly higher volatility, higher expected returns. I prefer option A or C, simple, low cost, globally diversified, proven. Critical rules, low fees. Keep expense ratios under 0.2%. Fees destroy compounding. Automatic investing, set and forget. Remove emotions from decisions. Rebalance annually. Sell what's up, buy what's down. Maintain allocation. Never sell in crashes. This is when you buy, not sell. Ignore noise, news, predictions, market timing, all irrelevant. Stay the course. Strategy 3. The tax optimization. Taxes can cost you 2 to 3 years on your journey to $500,000. Optimize them. Tax-advantaged accounts. First, every dollar in a Roth IRA or ISA grows tax-free, forever. A dollar in a taxable account gets taxed on dividends annually and capital gains when sold. $10,000 invested in Roth IRA at 8% for 25 years. $68,485, all yours. $10,000 invested in taxable account at 8% for 25 years. Taxed at 20%. Approximately $54,500 after taxes. Difference, $14,000. That's nearly 3 years of saving at $5,000 per year. Multiply this across decades, and proper tax optimization saves you 5+ years. Tax loss harvesting. In taxable accounts, sell losing positions to offset gains. This reduces your tax bill and lets you redeploy capital. Roth conversion strategy. In low-income years, convert traditional IRA/401k to Roth. Pay taxes when rates are low. Enjoy tax-free growth forever. Strategy 4. The lifestyle design. Reaching $500,000 isn't just about money. It's about building a life that makes high savings rates sustainable and enjoyable. Design for low-cost happiness. Choose hobbies that cost little. Reading. Library is free. Hiking. Nature is free. Cooking. Cheaper and healthier than dining out. Exercise. Body weight, running, YouTube videos. Learning, online resources, libraries, free courses. Social connection, potlucks, game nights, walks with friends. These activities cost little but provide deep satisfaction. Geographic arbitrage. Live in a low-cost area during accumulation. Your $50,000 salary goes much further in Kansas City than San Francisco. Your savings rate in Kansas City might be 40%, while in San Francisco it would be 10%. The premium you pay for expensive cities rarely justifies the lifestyle cost. Avoid lifestyle creep. When income increases, save the increase. Don't inflate lifestyle. Raise from $50,000 to $60,000. Save the extra $10,000. Don't upgrade apartment, car, or spending. This is how you reach $500,000 fast. One-time optimizations. Make big decisions correctly once. Buy smaller house than you can afford. Buy reliable used car. Drive 10+ years. Marry someone with compatible financial values. Choose career with work-life balance over maximum income. Live near work to eliminate commuting cost and time. These one-time decisions compound for decades. Strategy 5. The psychological systems. Reaching $500,000 is 20% math, 80% psychology. Build systems that work with human psychology, not against it. Automate everything. Automatic transfers to investment accounts on payday. Automatic investment purchases. Automatic bill payments. What's left in checking is spendable. Remove decisions. Remove willpower dependency. Automation prevents self-sabotage. Track progress obsessively. Spreadsheet with monthly updates. Current balance, monthly contribution, monthly market movement. Projected date to $500,000. Seeing progress creates motivation. I'm $15,000 closer than last quarter maintains discipline. Milestones and celebrations. $50,000 first major milestone. Emergency fund secured. $100,000. Huge psychological win, compounding visibly accelerating. $200,000. Halfway there, momentum building. $300,000 can smell victory. $400,000 final stretch. $500,000 freedom achieved. Celebrate each milestone. Not with spending sprees, but with recognition of progress. Separate emergency fund, $10,000 to $20,000 in high-yield savings, separate from investments. This prevents you from selling investments during emergencies. Protects compounding. Visual reminders. Post a chart showing your path to $500,000. Update monthly. Keep it visible. Post a picture of what freedom looks like to you. The beach you'll visit, the book you'll write, the family time you'll have. Visceral reminders maintain motivation through boring middle years. Strategy 6. Increase income. While maintaining spending, most advice focuses on cutting spending. That's half the equation. The other half is increasing income. Negotiate relentlessly. Most people never negotiate salary, ever. This costs them hundreds of thousands over a career. Every raise, every promotion, every job change. Negotiate. Research market rates. Ask for 10 to 20% more than first offer. Be willing to walk away. Even a $5,000 raise invested annually adds $167,000 to your $500,000 goal at 8% over 20 years. Develop rare valuable skills. Become top 10% in one valuable skill in your field. That skill premium translates directly to higher pay. For knowledge workers, writing, public speaking, technical expertise, leadership. Side income, smartly. Not a second job that burns you out, but productive side income leveraging your expertise. Consulting in your field. Your corporate skills have market value. Teaching. Online courses, boot camps, coaching. Creating, write, build tools, make content. Even $500 per month, $6,000 per year, from side work cuts 3 to 4 years off your timeline to $500,000. Career capital, change employers every 3 to 5 years strategically. External moves typically generate 10 to 20% raises, while internal promotions generate 3 to 5%. Company loyalty is financial suicide in modern economy. Every 3 to 5 years, assess whether moving would boost compensation significantly. If yes, move. Strategy 7. Protect the downside. The path to $500,000 takes 15 to 30 years. Life will attack during this time. Protect yourself. Insurance, health insurance. Catastrophic health event can destroy years of progress. Term life insurance. If you have dependents, protect them. Disability insurance. Protects income if you can't work. Umbrella liability. Protects assets from lawsuits. Insurance is paying small amounts to prevent catastrophic loss. It's worth it. Emergency fund repeated for emphasis. $10,000 to $20,000 in cash, separate from investments, for genuine emergencies only. This prevents you from rating investments when car breaks, boiler fails, or job loss hits. Avoid catastrophic mistakes. No high-interest debt. Credit cards at 20% destroy compounding. Eliminate immediately. No margin leverage. Borrowing to invest can wipe you out in crashes. No concentrated positions. 10% maximum in any single investment. No speculation, no crypto, meme stocks, options, day trading. These are how people blow up. Reaching $500,000 is about avoiding disasters, not hitting home runs. Strategy 8. Timeline flexibility. Life happens. You won't perfectly execute this plan. That's okay. Expected deviations. Job loss. Happens to almost everyone at least once. Medical issues, unexpected healthcare costs. Family emergencies, helping parents, children, siblings. Economic recessions. Market drops delay timeline by 2 to 5 years. Life changes, marriage, children, divorce, relocations. Build slack into your plan. If your aggressive timeline is 15 years, plan for 18 to 20. If moderate is 25, plan for 28 to 30. Underpromise to yourself. Over-deliver if possible. This prevents discouragement when life deviates from plan. Recalculate regularly. Every 6 to 12 months, recalculate projected date to $500,000 based on current balance, current savings rate, expected returns. This keeps you honest about progress and lets you adjust if falling behind. The achievability truth. Here's the bottom line. $500,000 is achievable for the majority of people in developed economies who earn median income or above, $40,000 to $60,000 plus. Maintain 20 to 30% savings rate. Invest in diversified index funds. Avoid catastrophic mistakes. Persist for 20 to 30 years. It's not easy. It requires discipline, but it's absolutely definitively achievable. $5 million? That requires either extraordinary income, inheritance, or luck. Most people won't reach it. $500,000? Regular people with regular incomes reach this every day through discipline and time. That's why it's the perfect goal. Difficult enough to be meaningful. Achievable enough to be realistic. Sufficient to provide genuine freedom. What life actually looks like. Let me paint you a detailed picture of what life looks like with $500,000 properly invested. Because understanding the destination makes enduring the journey tolerable. The financial foundation. You have $500,000 invested. 80% stocks, 20% bonds. Paid off home. Modest, comfortable, no mortgage. No debt of any kind. $15,000 emergency fund, separate from investments. Reliable paid-off car. Your annual income sources. Portfolio withdrawal. 4% equals $20,000. Social Security/state pension, $18,000 to $22,000. Part-time work/consulting, $8,000 to $12,000. Total, $46,000 to $54,000 per year. Your annual expenses, no mortgage rent, property tax plus insurance, $4,000. Utilities, electric, water, internet, phone, $3,000. Healthcare, insurance plus out-of-pocket, $6,000. Food, groceries, occasional dining, $6,000. Transportation, gas, maintenance, insurance, $4,000. Travel/entertainment, $6,000. Clothing/personal, $2,000. Miscellaneous, $3,000. Buffer, $3,000. Total, $37,000 per year. You're spending $37,000 and earning $46,000 to $54,000. You have $9,000 to $17,000 annual surplus. You're not just surviving, you're thriving with margin. A day in your life. Let me describe a typical day. 7 a.m. Wake naturally. No alarm, no commute to dread. Your time is yours. 7:30 a.m. Coffee on the porch. Read for an hour. News, books, whatever interests you. 8:30 a.m. Exercise. Run, weights, yoga, hike, whatever you enjoy. Health is your priority now that you have time for it. 10 a.m. Work on your project. Writing a book, building something, consulting part-time, teaching online, whatever provides meaning and light income. 12 p.m. Lunch at home. Walk with your spouse or friend. 1 p.m. More project work, or errands, or hobbies, or nothing. Your choice. 3 p.m. Pursue passion, woodworking, gardening, painting, learning language, mentoring young people, whatever feeds your soul. 5 p.m. Prepare dinner. Cooking is enjoyable when you're not exhausted from work. 6 p.m. Dinner with family or friends. Actual conversation, actual presence. 7 p.m. Evening walk, read movie, game, social time, whatever you want. 10 p.m. Bed when tired. No Sunday anxiety about Monday. No alarm dread. Notice what's missing. Commuting. 2 hours per day reclaimed. Office politics, mental energy reclaimed. Meetings you didn't need to attend, time reclaimed. Work you didn't care about, meaning reclaimed. Boss you had to impress, dignity reclaimed. Alarm clock, autonomy reclaimed. This is what $500,000 buys. Not luxury, freedom, the health transformation. With time and no work stress, you exercise regularly. Not because you should, but because you can. Morning hikes, afternoon swims, evening yoga, your body transforms. You cook healthy meals. No more fast food because you're too exhausted to cook. You have time to prepare nutritious food. You sleep properly, no alarm, no Sunday night insomnia. Your body finds its natural rhythm. Stress evaporates. No deadlines, no performance reviews, no office politics. Your cortisol levels normalize. The result, you're healthier at 50 than you were at 40. You're aging slower than peers still trapped in corporate stress. Studies show people who retire early, with sufficient means, live longer, have fewer chronic conditions, and report dramatically higher well-being. $500,000 doesn't just buy freedom. It buys years of your life back through reduced stress and increased health focus. The relationship renaissance. With time and presence, marriage improves. You're not exhausted every evening. You can actually connect. You do things together. Affairs decrease. Happiness increases. You become present parent, not just weekends. Not just tired evenings. You're available. You attend events. You help with homework. You know your kids' friends. This matters more than bigger house or fancier vacations. Friendships deepen. You have time for coffee, for calls, for helping friends move. Friendships require time. Time is what $500,000 provides. You reconnect with yourself. Who are you beyond your job title? What do you care about? What do you want to create? You finally have space to explore these questions. The people still working envy your money. But really, they envy your time for relationships. They're trading time with children for money they don't need. You've made the smarter trade. The geographic freedom. With $500,000 in remote income, you can live anywhere. Summer, 3 months in affordable European town. Rent a flat in Portugal, Spain, Italy for $800 per month. Live like locals. Experience culture. Your $54,000 per year goes further there. Fall. Return to U.S. for holidays with family. Stay in your paid-off home. Winter, 2 months in Southeast Asia. Thailand, Vietnam, Indonesia. Incredible food, beaches, culture for $1,200 per month. Spring. Explore South America. Ecuador, Colombia, Argentina. Rich experiences, low cost. Total annual travel cost. $12,000 for 6 months of international living. Still under your $54,000 income. Or don't travel. Stay local. Garden. Build community. Help neighbors. The point isn't that you must travel. It's that you can. Options are wealth. The purpose discovery. Here's what surprises people about early financial independence. They discover purpose. When work is optional, you choose it based on meaning, not money. You teach online courses, mentoring, community classes. Create, write, build, make, share. Serve, volunteer, help causes you care about. Learn, finally pursue that degree, skill, knowledge. Build. Start that business you always imagined. This work doesn't generate much income, $8,000 to $12,000 per year, but it generates immense meaning. And, ironically, work done for meaning is more satisfying than work done for money. You're not retired, you're selectively employed. You work, but only on things that matter to you. The modest lifestyle details. Let me get specific about the modest lifestyle. $500,000 supports. Housing, comfortable home, not mansion. 1,200 to 1,800 square feet. 2 to 3 bedrooms. Good condition. Good neighborhood. Nothing fancy, but nothing lacking. Transportation, reliable used car. Toyota, Honda, Mazda. 8 to 12 years old, paid off, runs perfectly. Gets you anywhere you need to go. Food, quality groceries, organic if you want. Occasional restaurant meals, not fine dining but not deprivation. You eat well and healthily. Travel 2 to 3 trips per year. Mix of road trips and international travel. Budget airlines, Airbnb, local experiences. Rich experiences without luxury price tag. Entertainment, streaming services, books, hobbies with equipment, cameras, instruments, tools. You're not bored. Healthcare, good insurance through ACA, early retiree plans, or international coverage. You see doctors when needed. Dental, vision covered. Clothing. You buy quality items that last. Not luxury brands. Not fast fashion. Durable, appropriate, comfortable. Hobbies funded properly. Photography equipment, workshop tools, art supplies, musical instruments. Whatever brings joy. Giving. You can be generous. Help family members. Donate to causes. Mentor for free. You have the margin to be kind. This isn't poverty. This is comfortable, secure, middle-class life. For many people in America and UK, this is actually higher quality of life than what they currently have while working. The difference, you're not stressed, you're not exhausted, you're not trapped. What you can't have. Let me be honest about what $500,000 doesn't buy. No luxury lifestyle. You're not flying first class, staying at Ritz-Carlton, driving Mercedes, wearing Rolex. No expensive city living. You can't live this lifestyle in Manhattan, San Francisco, or central London. You need moderate cost of living area. No supporting dependents. This assumes just you or you and partner. You can't comfortably support adult children or multiple family members on this budget. No major home renovations. Your $3,000 annual home buffer covers maintenance, not gut renovations. Your home stays as is. No new car every few years. You're driving your paid-off car for another decade. No expensive hobbies, no boat, no RV, no horse, no racing car. Hobbies must be reasonable cost. No luxury goods habit. You're not shopping for designer anything. Your clothes are functional, not fashionable. If you need these things for happiness, $500,000 isn't enough. You'll need $2 to $5 million. But that comes with 20+ more years of work. Is a Mercedes in first-class flights worth 2 more decades in corporate job? Most people who've made this trade-off say no. The comparison question. But Graham, I'll feel poor compared to my friends who kept working and have millions. Will you though? Let's compare. Your friend with $3 million at 65. Works until 65. 20 more years than you. High stress during peak earning years, ages 45 to 65. Missed children's youth being present. Health issues from stress and sedentary work. Expensive lifestyle requiring $120,000 per year. Complex finances requiring advisors. Still worried about money despite millions. You with $500,000 at 45. Retired at 45, freedom during peak health years. Low stress for past 20 years, ages 45 to 65. Present for family's important moments. Excellent health from stress-free lifestyle and exercise. Simple lifestyle requiring $37,000 per year. Simple finances you manage yourself. Never think about money because needs are covered. Your friend has 6 times your assets. You have 2 times their freedom years. Better health, better relationships, less stress, and more actual happiness. Who won? The score. Board says your friend, the life quality says you, the safety margin reality. What if markets crash? What if inflation surges? What if unexpected costs arise? Let's stress test this. Market crashes 40%, like 2008. Your $500,000 becomes $300,000. Your 4% withdrawal is now $12,000 instead of $20,000. Combined with pension, $20,000, and part-time work, $10,000, you're at $42,000 instead of $50,000. Tight, but manageable. You reduce travel and discretionary spending temporarily? Within 3 to 5 years, markets recover, you're back to $500,000. Inflation runs 5% for a decade. Your expenses increase from $37,000 to $60,000 over 10 years. But your pension is inflation adjusted. Your part-time work rates increase with inflation. Your portfolio nominally grows to offset inflation. You're fine. Major unexpected cost, $30,000 medical crisis. You have $15,000 emergency fund. You cover remaining $15,000 with one-time withdrawal from portfolio. Your $500,000 becomes $485,000. This setback costs you $600 per year in future income, 4% of $15,000. Manageable. The system has margin. It's not fragile. It's designed to survive normal life adversities. The regret test. Will you regret only having $500,000? Ask yourself, at age 70, looking back, will you regret? Option A, having $500,000 and 25 years of freedom, health, and presence. Option B, having $3 million and 5 years of freedom, compromised health, and missed experiences. I've never met someone who chose option A and regretted it. I've met dozens who chose option B and regret it deeply. The people with $500,000 at 60 don't wish they'd worked until 65 for more money. The people still working at 65 wish they'd stopped at $500,000 when they were younger. Money compounds, but so does regret. The regret of missed time is heavier than the satisfaction of extra millions. The real wealth of $500,000 isn't the money. It's what the money enables. Waking without alarm for 30+ years. Being present for relationships that matter. Pursuing meaning without financial pressure. Maintaining health through low stress and exercise. Having time for growth, learning, and creation. Helping others from a place of abundance. Never worrying about surviving financially. Living on your terms, not society's or employers'. This is wealth, not the number, the life the number enables. And $500,000 enables this life completely if you have the wisdom to accept it as enough. Answering every but what about. Let me address every objection to the $500,000 thesis, because I know you have them. Objection 1. Inflation will destroy this plan. Historical inflation averages 3% annually. Let's stress test your $500,000 portfolio should earn 7 to 8% nominally, before inflation. After 3% inflation, that's 4 to 5% real returns. At 4% real returns, your $500,000 maintains purchasing power while providing $20,000 annual withdrawal. Even if inflation runs hot at 5% for a decade, rare historically, here's what happens. Your living costs increase from $37,000 to $60,000, but your portfolio grows nominally to approximately $650,000 to offset inflation. Your pension is inflation adjusted. Your part-time income rates increase with inflation. You're still fine. The system is built to handle inflation. What destroys people isn't inflation. It's lifestyle inflation. Inflation at 3% is manageable. Lifestyle inflation at 8%, upgrading house, car, habits, is fatal. Control lifestyle inflation and actual inflation is just noise. Objection 2. Healthcare costs will bankrupt me. Healthcare is the biggest legitimate worry. Let's address it directly. Before 65, before Medicare. ACA marketplace plans, $400 to $800 per month depending on income. Health sharing ministries, $300 to $500 per month. International health insurance, $200 to $400 per month if you're willing to travel. Total annual cost, $4,800 to $9,600. After 65, the Medicare, $175 per month, Part B plus D plus supplement. Total annual cost, $2,100. You've budgeted $6,000 per year for health care. This covers normal care, Your emergency fund covers one-off medical events. But what about catastrophic illness? That's what insurance is for. Out-of-pocket maximums on ACA plans are $9,100 for individuals. That's a hard ceiling on annual costs. Yes, healthcare is expensive, but it's manageable with proper insurance, emergency fund, willingness to adjust spending in high-cost years. Healthcare makes $500,000 tighter than it would be otherwise. It doesn't make it impossible. Objection 3. I have children to support. The $500,000 thesis assumes you've raised children to independence before retiring. If your children are still dependent, $500,000 at 45 doesn't work. But here's the thing. By 50, most people's children are adult or near adult. By 55, almost everyone's children are independent. So the sequence is work ages 25 to 50, raising children while saving. Children independent ages 50 to 55. Retire at 55 with $500,000 once children are independent. If you have children late or have special needs, children requiring lifelong support, you'll need more than $500,000. That's a different situation. But for typical family timeline, $500,000 works once children are launched. Objection 4. What about legacy? I want to leave money to my children. Here's a contrarian truth. Your presence during their youth is worth more than inheritance at your death. Would your children prefer you working until 65, then leaving them $2 million when you die at 80? You retiring at 45, being present for their adult lives, leaving them $300,000 when you die at 90? Ask them. Most will choose your presence. You're also leaving them something more valuable than money, a model of sufficiency, contentment, and life well lived. That's worth more than millions. That said, $500,000 plus home provides reasonable inheritance. Die at 85 with $400,000 remaining in portfolio. Die with paid-off home worth $250,000 to $400,000. Total inheritance, $650,000 to $800,000. That's not generational wealth, but it's significant help for children buying homes, funding grandchildren's education, or cushioning their own retirement. Objection 5. Market returns won't actually be 8%. Fair objection. Let's stress test with lower returns. At 6% real returns, save $15,000 per year for 28 years equals $500,000, versus 22 years at 8% returns. At 5% real returns, save $15,000 per year for 32 years equals $500,000, versus 22 years at 8% returns. Lower returns extend timeline, but don't break the thesis. You reach $500,000 a few years later. The destination remains achievable. Also remember, when planning conservatively, assume 6 to 7% returns. If you get 8%, you reach $500,000 faster than planned. Under-promise, over-deliver. Objection 6. I live in an expensive city and can't move. Then $500,000 won't provide financial independence. In San Francisco, Manhattan, London, you need $1 to $2 million for equivalent lifestyle. But here's the question, why can't you move? My job is here. If you've reached $500,000, you're financially independent. Job location is irrelevant. My family is here, valid, but family is everywhere. Maybe you stay near them but move to suburb instead of city center. Or maybe you visit often but live elsewhere. I love this city. Also valid. But do you love it enough to work an extra 10 to 15 years to afford retiring there? That's the trade-off. Most people claiming they can't move actually mean I don't want to move. That's fine, but it means you need $1 to $2 million, not $500,000. Geography is a choice. Expensive geography requires more wealth. That's math, not judgment. Objection 7. What if I get bored in retirement? This is legitimate. Some people tie identity to career. Retirement creates existential crisis. But here's the thing. $500,000 doesn't mean doing nothing. It means work becomes optional and chosen. You can teach part-time, consult in your expertise, start a business with no financial pressure, write, create, build, volunteer meaningfully, mentor young people. The difference, you're choosing these activities for meaning, not money. You're working from abundance. not necessity. The people who get bored in retirement are those who never developed identity beyond job title. If your only answer to "who are you?" is your job, retirement is frightening. But if you're a person with interests, passions, curiosity, relationships, you won't be bored. You'll finally have time for everything you've put off for decades. Objection 8. I'll lose social connection from work. Work provides social connection, structure, purpose, and identity. Losing these is hard. Solutions: social. Join clubs, volunteer groups, hobby communities, sports teams, religious organizations. Adults make friends through shared activities. Seek activities, find community. Structure: create your own. Morning routine, project time, exercise schedule, social plans. Structure without boss is freedom. Purpose: choose work that matters to you. Teaching, mentoring, creating, building, serving. Purpose doesn't require paycheck. Identity: expand identity beyond work. You're a learner, creator, athlete, friend, family member, community member. These identities strengthen when work identity releases. People who struggle post-retirement are those who never developed life outside work. If your entire identity and social circle is work, retirement is crisis. But if you've maintained friendships, hobbies, interests, and family connections throughout career, retirement is liberation. Objection 9. Sequence of returns, risk will destroy me. This is real risk. Retiring right before major market crash can permanently impair outcomes. Mitigations: bond cushion. Have 3 to 5 years of expenses in bonds/cash. During crash, you live off bonds, not stocks. Let stocks recover before touching them. Flexibility: in bad market years, reduce spending, travel less, defer major purchases. Flexibility is your safety margin. Part-time work: your $10,000 per year part-time income provides cushion. In bad years, increase this to $15,000 to $20,000 temporarily. Small home: your paid-off home has equity. Worst case, you can downsize or relocate to lower-cost area. Sequence risk is dangerous for people with no flexibility, but $500,000 with modest lifestyle provides enormous flexibility. That flexibility is your protection. Objection 10. I want to travel extensively and $500,000 won't cover it. $500,000 supports moderate travel, 2 to 3 trips per year, budget airlines, Airbnb, local experiences. $500,000 does not support luxury travel. First class, 5-star hotels, cruises, constant international travel. If extensive luxury travel is non-negotiable, you need $1 to $2 million. But here's the thing: most people don't actually want luxury travel. They want experiences, and experiences are available at all price points. Hiking in Peru is cheap. Cooking classes in Thailand are cheap. Road tripping national parks is cheap. Rich experiences don't require luxury price tags. The people who need luxury travel are usually status signaling, not experience seeking. If your travel is about Instagram photos and impressing others, you need more money. If your travel is about experiences, cultures, nature, and people, $500,000 supports a rich travel life. Objection 11. My spouse won't agree to this. This is the hardest objection because it's not about math, it's about relationship and values. If your spouse needs $2 million to feel secure when $500,000 is objectively sufficient, you have a psychological challenge, not a financial one. Solutions: education. Share the math. Show the projections. Demonstrate the safety margins. Compromise: maybe you need $750,000 instead of $500,000 for spouse's peace of mind. That's 3 to 5 more working years. Worth it for marital harmony. Trial run. Live on the $40,000 budget for 1 year while still working. Prove it's comfortable. This reduces spouse's anxiety about lifestyle. Therapy. If spouse's need for more is driven by childhood scarcity, anxiety, or status needs, couples therapy can address root causes. You cannot force spouse to accept sufficiency if they're psychologically committed to excess. That's a relationship issue money can't solve. Objection 12. I just want more security. Valid. Some people need more cushion for psychological security. Solutions target $750,000 instead of $500,000. Adds 5 to 7 years to timeline but provides larger safety margin. Barbell strategy. Have $500,000 but also part-time work generating $20,000 per year. You technically don't need the work income, but having it provides psychological security. Geographic security. Live in area with strong family/community support. Social safety net provides security that money can't fully replace. Skill security. Maintain marketable skills. Knowing you could get work if needed provides security even if you don't need it. Security isn't just about money. It's about having options, flexibility, support systems, and capabilities. $500,000 plus strong relationships, maintained skills, and flexibility provides more security than $2 million with isolation, rusty skills, and rigid lifestyle. The meta-objection. The real objection underlying most of these is, I don't believe $500,000 is enough because I don't believe I can be happy with less than I think I need. That's not a financial objection. That's a psychological one. And it's the objection I'm most concerned about. Because if you can't find contentment at $500,000, you won't find it at $5 million either. The work isn't accumulating more money. The work is developing the psychology of sufficiency. And that's the final section. Encerramento, 33 a 40. Aproximadamente 1.900 palavras. The psychology of enough. Everything I've told you is true mathematically. $500,000 is objectively sufficient for financial independence with a modest lifestyle. But mathematics alone won't convince you. Because the real barrier to accepting $500,000 as enough isn't financial. It's psychological. Let me address the psychology directly. The enough equation. Wealth isn't a number. It's an equation. Wealth equals what you have divided by what you need. $500,000 divided by $40,000 per year needs equals 12.5x equals wealthy. $5 million divided by $200,000 per year needs equals 25 times equals wealthy. But which person is wealthier? The one with 12.5 times their needs or 25 times their needs? Mathematically, the second. Psychologically, it's unclear. Because wealth equals what you have divided by what you think you need. And what you think you need is infinite if you haven't solved the psychological equation of enough. I've met people with $50 million who feel poor because they compare themselves to billionaires. I've met people with $500,000 who feel rich because they compare themselves to their past selves. The number doesn't determine wealth. Your relationship to the number does. The comparison trap. The reason $500,000 doesn't feel like enough to most people is comparison. You're not comparing $500,000 to your current financial stress. You're comparing it to your perception of wealthy. And your perception of wealthy has been shaped by media, showing billionaires, celebrities, extreme wealth. Social media, curated highlights of others' consumption. Advertising designed to make you feel insufficient. Status culture, wealth is scorecard for human value. This perception is poison, makes sufficiency feel like failure. But here's reality. Having $500,000, no debt, paid off home, and modest lifestyle puts you ahead of 95% plus of Americans and UK residents. Most people will never reach this. Most people will work until 65 or beyond, retire with under $100,000 saved, and depend primarily on Social Security. If you reach $500,000 by 50, you've won the financial game. Completely, absolutely, undeniably won. The only way you can feel poor with this is if you've made the catastrophic error of comparing yourself to the wealthiest 1% instead of reality. The gratitude practice. Here's a mental exercise that changes everything. Every morning, write down 3 things you're grateful for financially. Not aspirational things you want, things you already have. Examples. I have no credit card debt. I saved $500 this month. I can afford quality food. I have emergency fund cushion. I'm not stressed about survival. This practice rewires your brain from scarcity, what I lack, to abundance, what I have. After 90 days of this practice, $500,000 will feel dramatically more sufficient than it does now. Not because the number changed, because your psychology changed. The hedonic adaptation reality. Humans adapt to improvements rapidly. This is the hedonic treadmill. Reaching $500,000 will feel amazing for 3 months. Then it becomes normal. Then you'll start thinking about $750,000. Reaching $750,000 will feel amazing for 3 months. Then it becomes normal. Then you'll start thinking about $1 million. This pattern continues forever unless you interrupt it. The interruption is recognizing the pattern and deliberately choosing sufficiency. $500,000 is enough not because it's the maximum you could accumulate, but because it's the point where you consciously choose to step off the treadmill. Stepping off requires psychological courage. It requires saying, "I have enough" in a culture that screams more. But stepping off is the only way to win. Because staying on the treadmill means running forever without destination. The deathbed question. At 85, looking back, will you think, "I wish I'd worked until 65 to have $2 million instead of retiring at 50 with $500,000? Or, "I'm so grateful I retired at 50 with $500,000. Those 15 extra years of freedom were priceless." I've never met an 85-year-old who wished they'd worked longer for more money. I've met many who wish they'd retired earlier with less. Time is the ultimate finite resource. It cannot be accumulated. It only depletes. Every year you work past sufficiency is a year of time you're trading for money you don't need. That's the worst trade you can make. The identity shift. The hardest part of accepting $500,000 as enough is identity shift. If your identity is high earner, successful professional, or wealth builder, stopping at $500,000 feels like quitting. But you're not quitting. You're winning and claiming your prize. The shift is from, "I'm building wealth," to, "I've built sufficient wealth." I'm working toward financial independence, to, "I'm financially independent." I'm not there yet, to, "I've arrived." This shift requires letting go of the identity of striver and embracing the identity of achiever. Many people can't make this shift. They're addicted to the journey and terrified of the destination. If that's you, you'll work until 65, even if you reach $500,000 at 45. Not because you need more money, but because you need the identity of working. That's a choice. But recognize it as psychological, not financial. The cultural permission. You're waiting for culture to tell you $500,000 is enough. It never will. Culture profits from your dissatisfaction. Advertising, financial services, corporate employment, consumer goods, entire industries depend on you believing you need more. If everyone retired at $500,000, the economy would transform. Fewer workers, less consumption, smaller financial services sector. So, culture will never give you permission to stop at $500,000. You must give yourself permission. This requires courage, because you're rejecting cultural narratives about success, wealth, and the good life. But rejecting these narratives is the only path to sufficiency. Because sufficiency is always personal, never cultural. The envy management. When you retire at 45 with $500,000, some people will envy you. Others will judge you. Must be nice. Wish I could just stop working. That's irresponsible. You're going to get bored. You'll regret this. These comments are projections. They're saying more about the speaker than about you. The envy is because they wish they'd made different choices but can't admit it. The judgment is because your choice threatens their worldview that working until 65 is necessary. You can't control their reactions. You can only control your response. Respond with, "I'm incredibly grateful for this opportunity." Don't justify. Don't explain. Don't defend. Your life is not a referendum on their choices. Their judgment is not your concern. The integrity check. Before fully committing to $500,000 as enough, ask yourself honestly, do I genuinely not need more, or am I settling because reaching more feels too hard? There's a difference between sufficiency, I have enough for the life I want. Settling, I don't have enough, but I'm giving up. If you're settling, you'll be resentful. You'll watch others accumulate and feel bitter. If you've reached genuine sufficiency, you'll watch others accumulate and feel nothing. No envy, no resentment, just contentment with your choice. The litmus test, can you genuinely celebrate others' wealth without feeling diminished? If yes, you've reached sufficiency. If no, you're settling and should keep building. Be honest, this matters. The annual review. Even after accepting $500,000 as enough, review annually. Is $500,000 still sufficient for the life I want, given changes in health, changes in relationships, changes in goals, changes in circumstances? Maybe at 60, you realize you want to help grandchildren with education. Maybe you discover a passion that costs money. Maybe healthcare needs increase. It's okay to adjust. $500,000 isn't a prison. It's a baseline of sufficiency. If circumstances genuinely change, you can work part-time for a few years, add $100,000, and solve the new need. But distinguish between genuine new needs and hedonic adaptation, making you want more. New genuine need. Medical condition requiring expensive treatment. Hedonic adaptation. Feeling like you should have bigger house after 10 years in modest home. One is real, one is psychology. Manage differently. The legacy perspective. What are you teaching through your choices? If you work until 65 chasing $5 million, you're teaching work is most important. More is always better. Sacrifice presence for money. Net worth determines human worth. If you retire at 45 with $500,000, you're teaching. Freedom matters more than money. Enough is enough. Presence is valuable. Life is for living. Your children, friends, and community learn from your choices more than your words. What lesson do you want to leave? The permission you need. Let me give you the permission I suspect you're seeking. $500,000 is enough. You don't need $1 million, $2 million, or $5 million to retire securely and happily. You don't need to work until 65. You don't need to maximize net worth. You don't need to keep up with others. You can stop at $500,000, retire early, live modestly, and have a richer life than people with 10 times your wealth. You can step off the treadmill, claim victory, and spend the rest of your life living instead of preparing to live. You can be content with enough. $500,000 is enough. You are enough. The race is over if you choose to stop running. My final truth, I'm 90 years old. I'm wealthy by any measure. And I can tell you with absolute certainty, the happiest years of my life weren't when I was building maximum wealth. They were the years after I realized I had enough and started living accordingly. The years I stopped optimizing and started savoring. The years I stopped comparing and started appreciating. The years I stopped accumulating and started experiencing. Those years began when I accepted that I had enough. Not when I reached some arbitrary number, but when I realized the number I'd reached was sufficient. For me, that realization came late. I wish it had come sooner. You can have that realization now. At $500,000. At 45 or 50 or 55, you can stop the race, claim the prize, and live the life the money was supposed to buy. $500,000 is all you need. Not to survive, not to get by, but to be genuinely, meaningfully, abundantly wealthy in the only ways that matter. The question is, can you accept that? Or will you keep running? Chasing numbers that get bigger but never feel sufficient? The math is clear. The path is proven. The choice is yours. $500,000 is enough. Start believing it. Start living it. Your liberated life is waiting on the other side of sufficiency.